All right, so we're about ready to go through an engine pulling procedure here. So you see we've got everything jacked up. Got the jack stands under there, the secondary safety. They're not quite tall enough, but if anything comes down, they should stop it. So let's go over again quickly the basics of pulling an engine. You got your wire harness right here, which, yeah, all these wires come through there, except for the starter wire, which is easy to take off, that's separate. Then you have your throttle cable right here and your fuel line right here. This isn't actually connected to anything, it's just sitting there. Now, at that point, it's the actual fasteners that are holding the engine in, which are on the underside here. They're kind of hard to see, but there should be 4 bolts, one roughly located in each corner. And then, of course, this bolt right here in the middle, which you'll have to get that out and pull the pulley off. And then lastly, and this kind of varies from engine to engine, is your exhaust setup. So I'll need to take this stuff off here so I can pull those pipes out. That's the gist of what I'm going to be doing, and let's get it done. That's off. Have that wire. I don't really need a zip tie in here anymore. Okay. Yep. That's everything except the starter wire. Let's go get a 3/8 wrench for that, should be. It's not a 3/8. I'm allergic to working. Sometimes you can hold the wire to break it free. Yeah. And again, this wire is not hot because if it was, the starter would be spinning. Okay, throw that nut back on so you don't lose it. So that part's done. So now, let's get the wire up here. Take it off. Oh yeah, I did. Put my screwdriver right here. I'll take a picture of the positioning just for good measure. Okay, let's take this off. Wow, it's frozen. A little dog leg on the end of there. There we go. So that's out. So now let's try to get the fuel line disconnected. And where am I going to disconnect it? I'll probably keep the other filter, so I'll disconnect it right after the filter. Gas. Means we'll have to, I don't even know if you can see that. Just pop that off right there. Anyway, some of the gas drained out, so that means next time we'll probably have to give it time to prime. Alright, so now since we're up top still, let's go ahead and tackle these exhaust manifold bolts. See if they're 9/16 or not. They're not. So I'm gonna need. What am I gonna need? Let's see what size they could be. Probably a half. Yep. They are a half. Quick and easy, but put your earplugs in before you do that. bolts off. Put this in a scrap metal pile. Set these bolts aside somewhere. So that's pretty much what holds the muffler in. But now these pipes should pull straight out. I may need to give them a little tap with a hammer. Those are loose now. So now, once the engine's ready to pull out, that should not restrain it. Okay. Let's not drop the impact. Just suck it back on so we don't lose it. Alright. Now we're ready to go underneath. This is the fun part. That's the dirty part, possibly. Let me go grab my creeper. Just not much room under there. Hopefully this way I can stay at least somewhat clean. So I got this one to get the flywheel, not the flywheel, I got this one to get the crankshaft pulley off, and this one to get the other bolts off. So let's go see what it looks like under here. Hope I can reach everything. So I'm gonna put you on the other side so you can see me. Look up there. Let's go for this one first. As once that's out of the way, we might be able to see a little bit better if it comes off. I should drop the deck. Oh well. You don't have to drop the deck. This might make it a little easier. Let's see if this is the right size. It is the right size. Okay, that's easy. Oh yeah, and that pulley is ready to come down. So set the 1/2 inch impact aside with that bolt. Yeah. Okay, so now let's see about getting in there and getting the other ones. Now I'm gonna need an extender. So get extender in here. See if that's enough. Definitely don't want to knock down my safety, especially when it's right by my head. And that round so I won't hit the lever again. Yeah. Okay. If I'm gonna go under here, I want it to be safe. One. That's two. I'll get them off the floor, that's not a problem. So it should be, yeah, there's one right back there. You can see it. I don't even know if I can get it in there. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Why is it not going? I'll probably need a longer extender for that one. So let me go grab my longer extender. Should be right here. Here we go. All right, and now let's see if we can get this up in there. Almost. If I rotate it, it'll climb on. So the deck's actually in the way a little bit here. And what I will do, I don't know if you can see or not, but I'll try to point you up in that general direction. So I will push the deck around a little bit. Use my other hand maybe to guide this in. Come on. Okay, I cheated there. I went in at an angle. You saw it. But it worked. Okay, let's see if we can reach the other bolt. Back in here. Came off. Okay, so the engine should be free now. Should be nothing holding it from the underside. This is a nice and clean one. That's a good sign. I'll just grab those bolts off of the deck, and we're ready to get the engine hoist out here to pull the engine off. Okay, where do those bolts go down here? Oh, I didn't think they could go anywhere. Maybe they fell off the backside. Regardless, I've got a couple others, so not a big deal. Oh, there they are. I got them. You can't see anything. I can't either. Okay. All right. So that's a running stream, a running live feed uncut on how to pull an engine. It's already there. One of these bolts didn't feel right, I don't think. Yeah, it's a different bolt. So let's get this out of here. Pull it out. Go. So here's all our hardware. There's 4 bolts and the long bolt. Set them down here. And get the rest of the tools out. It's time to lower this back down so we can get the engine hoist on it. Let's see here. Socket back on the track. Okay, so now get these out of the way. Actually, I'm going to need the engine hoist, so let's put them over here where they go. Let's let this back down. We've got a safety pin here. Okay. Gotta take the tension off so we can let it down. Safety straps off the wheel and tire. And now we can roll the mower back off of it and get this out of the way. Okay, perfect. I'm on top of this strap. I've got some fuel draining out now, so I'll tuck this up and out of the way because the motor was lowered down, now the fuel started draining out. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Off to the side. because we are next going to use that for the other mower. All right, let's get you out of here. And this over here. It doesn't like rolling. Super annoying. It's actually this is actually a much bigger engine hoist than I need for this. Gosh. It's a little bit of a workout. So the goal is to get it somewhat centered over the engine. You don't have to get it perfect. It's probably not going to be perfect. You can try. But just the closer you get, the easier it'll make it to pull it out. Let's lower it down a little bit so you have enough room to pull it all the way up without hitting the ceiling. And where's my other straps? All right. So strap it in there. And you can go around the cylinder head or however. I like to get behind the starter a little bit because that kind of helps and stabilize it, because straps will try to pop off of different places depending on where you may go. Let's see if I have a little more. Just a little more. Okay. Should be sufficient. And a spreader bar would help with this if you had something to spread. But while engines are heavy, they aren't super heavy, so I wouldn't stress out too much about it as long as it's fairly safely supported. Obviously, I am off center here. What would work better is if the mower was 90 degrees over, but we will make do with this unless it turns out to not work. Start with this first. Also, getting under an exhaust manifold can also help hold the engine stable. If there's room. That's right, way too long. And oil filters are another good spot. Alright. But you don't want to get around plastic stuff. Plastic stuff breaks. Rubber stuff flexes, plastic stuff breaks. Okay, so you get the idea. Just get the strap around like the oil filter like that, or under exhaust manifold, or maybe behind the starter, something like that. I could have run that one under the manifold as well. It should be fine. Now, let's start pumping this thing up. And it's going to want to go that way, so I may need to guide it a little bit. That was pretty easy. Now we can roll the engine off of there, except this doesn't roll very well. And there we have it. that is apparently a 20-minute guide on pulling an engine, because my camera's been rolling film the whole time and it is not 20 minutes yet. So that's how you pull an engine out of a regular riding lawnmower, folks. If everything goes well and smoothly, which it did there, that's really how it's done. Just try to always stay safe and make sure your mower is properly supported and you have a safety if possible, like how you had the jack stands there. Because the last thing you want to do is to have that thing come down on you. And then kind of be careful about the engine hanging there. It weighs probably 75 pounds to 100 pounds. It just depends on the engine. But anyway, that's how you pull an engine.